Welcome to the astrology for the week of July 9th through 15th, 2023. So, on July 9th, we have Mercury trine Neptune. So, this is happening on Sunday. So, whenever we have a trine, this is an aspect of a lot of harmony. There's ease with the trine, there's an easy energy. Things seem to flow, things seem to work out very nicely. You can just relax with the energy of a trine. However, trines can make us sort of, lazy, where the energy is really good, but it doesn't exactly motivate us to move towards something. So that's why we need to actively move towards and make the most productive energy of, whatever planets are in trine with each other to really take advantage of that. Um, so Mercury and Neptune are getting along great. So this is good for anything abstract, anything that is not necessarily details, any sort of logical A plus B must equal C work where you have to batten down and really get your answers correctly and move move one foot in front of the other and really put your focus into that. But it's better for anything that is ethereal, such as studying space or, imagination and creativity. So it's great for writing, coming up with stories. It's great for reading and coming up with plots and different characters and settings. It's also wonderful for, the production and creation of movies and also watching movies. Just reading books in general without, creating stories. This can also be great for um, sitting back and receiving how it feels to watch a movie because Neptune rules over cameras and, cinema and photography and things of that nature. So that sort of creativity where it presents an energy where you can get lost in something. This is good to, have some healthy time to escape. So using your imagination, opening up your imagination, and also your creative side as well. So it's great for that. It's great for doing anything that is, allows you to use your right brain to create, to tap into the more feminine energies. Anything, like again, writing, stories, painting, music, anything like that that lifts you up to a higher state of being where you can channel. And Neptune rules channeling. Neptune rules anything that is mystical and considered woo-woo. So when we are in that creative space where we're just receiving all this creative inspiration and these callings to put forth this thing into physical manifestation, when we're in that open space of creativity, then we are channeling with whatever we're doing. And so, anything creative that you consider creative to do would be great. This is also great energy for communicating in a really compassionate and loving way, speaking from your heart, but also your mind when it comes to using our words for the good of all and not the destruction of all. When we can use the Neptune soft energy that is really asking us to understand that we are one with everyone else. We're not separate. We're not living inside two different boxes, even though we're living in separate physical bodies with the time and space 3D separate, reality that, we're so ingrained and enmeshed in our reality that can be a block to the energy of this transit. So we can understand our oneness, empathy, caring for others, compassion, for others, really feeling those feelings, communicating from that loving space. This is also great for that. This is also wonderful for our intuition, our inner knowing of what we know. That would be a good way of making decisions. I want to make this decision. I want to do this thing. I want to experience this thing, but how does it feel in my body? This is a very Neptune mental, Mercury mental, the details, everyday reality, check things off the list. Neptune, which is dissolving the mundane, dissolving the logical, the practical, the details of the chop wood, carry water, things that you have to do in your day to day. Because Neptune dissolves structure and boundaries. So with this trine, our strong intuition, we can use our intuition of what feels right. That doesn't necessarily align with our logical sense, but we're more loving, we're more inside ourselves, we're more glorified into a state of being which is peaceful, and it is filled with spiritual bliss at this time. So we can blend our intuition with the logical mind, and we can really make our things happen. Manifestation, our dreams into Mercury. How are we going to get this done? The details. So we can think logically and also feel intuitively greatly. And so another thing with this is coming back home to your innermost ideals, of your innermost spiritual truth, and really acting from an intuitive place on that truth. Moving on to July 10th, we have Mars, the planet of action, aggression, war, momentum, engagement with life, entering Virgo. Mars is a hot energy that's right in your face, and you can tell when it's right there. It demands your attention. It demands that you go toward this activity and you take the reins of your life. And so Mars is in Virgo. Virgo is a humble sign that seeks to learn and to become better, but it's also a sign that wants to make work productive, and it wants to have, there has to be a practical application with Virgo energy. You really have to have all your dots in a row with that Virgo energy, because it is a mercurial mental air energy. But it's like an earth sign, but with the air element combined inside of it. So Virgo is a combination of air and earth. So Mars is going to stay in Virgo until August 26th through July 10th through August 26th, and on August 27th, Mars is going to enter Libra. And so Virgo is, the Virgin. We're talking about virginity. We're talking about, we can have the desire with Mars and Virgo to achieve a state of purity, mentally, physically, emotionally. Virgo wants purity, cleanliness. That's what it seeks. And so this is a great time for details, for working out the little details of things, to get organized with your life, to put things in order. You might find yourself super motivated to develop some structure, to say, guess what, my life's disorganized in this area, or I have not been as efficient and diligent and disciplined and hardworking in this area of my life, and I'm going to put more work into it. I'm going to put more, effort into what I am doing over here. Could this be brushing my teeth? Because for me personally, I need to put more work into brushing my teeth, more time, more care. I need to think about it more, be more conscious of it, attend to certain parts of my mouth and my teeth. And even though Saturn rules over teeth as a part of a body that you have to maintain because that's very Saturnian. You have to work on it. It's you and your efforts alone. So Saturn is really strong in the sign of Virgo, and Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, a fellow Earth sign of Virgo. So this deals with putting more attention towards anything health related. What could this be? Could it be meditation, journaling, spending more time outside in nature, eating more healthily, going and exercising more? Whatever it is, you may find the motivation and the balls to really attend and put more of your energy and ducklings into that, more of your eggs into that basket and attend to those details of your life. So good for details, good for getting organized, cleaning up your space. You may find yourself more disciplined, more detail oriented. You want to get the details precise. You want to be more efficient and productive during this time. So really making sure that you're putting in work that is, okay, I'm putting the time and the effort to do this, but also the care. I'm really taking a lot of care and I'm putting in the quality because Virgo is about the quality of what you produce, and sort of the quality and cleanliness of your space determines your state of mind and determines your life. The quality that you put into your work determines, the quality of your life, potentially. And this is very Virgo, thinking here. So a productive time. But with this service that we're doing to ourselves, maybe this also deals with service to others. Because I see Mars wants to take on this hero sort of quality and wants to, because Mars wants to fight. It's the fighter. It wants to stand up for itself. So standing up for others and being in service to others, but knowing when to draw knowing when to draw the line when they say, guess what? I don't need your help right now. I'm fine on my own. I can take care of this. And that is where we stop and put our mind to rest, put our emotions to rest. So, knowing when to draw that boundary is super important because Mars is an Aries energy. So we can serve others. We can have the desire to make a difference in others' life, improve others, other people by offering physical things, advice, wisdom, lessons, better ways of doing things, whatever it is. We can be more service oriented because Virgo just wants to help. It just wants to see that it is being productive, that it is doing something useful, that it is doing something that is meaningful to somebody. So this is also something with that, developing whatever skill that you have and becoming really, really good at something in your life of a certain skill, of a certain talent that you want to own, hone in on and improve. Any area of your life, any skill that you have, this would be a great time to improve that skill, to develop it, to work harder through it. And so, so we can become, we can find the motivation, Mars, to do anything that is self-improvement related, not perfectionism, self-improvement. Perfectionism is a bad thing, just like smoking, drinking, all those are bad things. Let's eliminate, what just doesn't work and, let's self-improve. Let's do all those kind of things. So, anything that is self-improvement related, be it our, physical well-being, our mental well-being, our health, our, our habits, whatever it is, turning our attention towards self-improvement. How can we become better? How can we change and improve ourselves day by day? And what can we do that's a little bit different for our, well-being? This is Mars in Virgo. Now, on the same day, on July 10th, we have Mercury forming an opposition to Pluto. So Pluto is about power. It is a source of power. It is that spark of light that is regenerative. It is really quite strong. And if Pluto is not used in a wise way, it can be it can, overpower each other, where we can really get so sucked into the motivations of other people with this, opposition. Pluto is that, it's like an excavator. It wants to dig down into what is true. It wants to just pull up the true, uncover the mysteries of life. And it finds a lot of power and satisfaction in doing so. So it digs up the truth, it eliminates what no longer works. It's just a cycle that's, Pluto related. This deals with mind control. Like, I think of the Thought Police. Well, Thought Police, Fahrenheit 451, 1984. You get where I'm going with this. Mind control. Powerful thoughts, having really powerful thoughts of what you want to do, how you want to act on this, how you want to make this happen. And you want to take control. There is this desire with this opposition. There is this strong discomfort, but you just want to take control. You want to be in control. But because it's an opposition and it's a difficult aspect where we are eliminating the shadow sides of both and mirroring them together to then move in an integrated direction and blend what is the upsides or the positive sides of Mercury and Pluto to create something magical, something wonderful, something that is really fulfilling for us in our own lives. So we can have a lot of powerful thoughts, and we can be really strong in our thinking. Latch onto an idea, a desire, a belief of something that we want, and we are, one focus. We know where we're going, and we can almost become sort of caught into that obsession or that compulsion, and we can lose sight of the world around us. So that can be something to keep in mind as well, that we're not getting so sucked into one thing, and we can become really stubborn and fixated with our thinking at this time. So we can have a desire, and we can be very committed and very determined to go towards that, and achieve that, but not becoming too consumed or fixated by it. So becoming a detective, investigating. This is a great aspect for investigation, of digging to the truth of something going on in your life, of a movie that you're watching or a book you're reading, where you are digging for that truth, and finding those answers. It's not a surface level on the daisies, on the flowers, on the everyday reality type of surface level. It is going deep. And it asks you to dig deeply and look deeply into something and investigate. So that's really the flavor of this opposition. And so in terms of power, Mercury is also communication. So you can be speaking in a way that is really, really powerful, where you mean what you say. You want this, you have the desire to say this and have this happen. So where you can have words that can cut through like a knife, that can burn through all the rubbish, all the fray, all of the lies and the ignorance, but where that truth can hurt other people and make people feel really overpowered and weak and hurt others and do harm, cause harm to others. They say, if you can't handle the truth hurts. Um, so being really honest and blunt about, okay, this is the truth. This is what's actually going on, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's great for speaking to the absolute truth of something, but not necessarily hurting other people with it in a really fixed and critical and probing way. Um, and so, yeah, so approaching that truth with grace, with kindness, with understanding, with compassion, and patience. Um, so, that's something with this uh, opposition here is speaking in a really powerful way, but not in a way that hurts others, because it is an opposition. So Mercury enters Leo on the same day. So a lot is happening on this day. So with Mercury, the planet of communication, the mind, thinking, data collecting, information gathering, in the sign of Leo, which is the lion, we can really express ourselves in a really passionate and courageous, very confident way. So we can have thoughts that are really big and bold and grand, and they're very emotional thoughts, very heartfelt thoughts. So expressing those thoughts, and allowing ourselves to speak from our heart and express our feelings is great with this. It's also great for storytelling, making up stories, creating new things, and to allow that creative, inspired, excitable energy flow through you, and to drop into your heart. It's a good time to really make sure that you are speaking from your heart and not just your mind during Mercury and Leo. Like, is this true for me in my heart? So speaking from your heart, of your heart center. Mercury, although this is not my belief system, if Mercury is exalted or has an affinity or has wonderful qualities in the sign of Aquarius, which is really mental, very technological, very advanced, coming up with new ideas. Let's think for the future, and let's become really intellectual in a highly skilled way. That's Mercury in Aquarius. But Mercury in Leo, one of the things about it is it comes before Virgo, where we get the details introduced. So we could see things for more of the things that we want to see, and not attending to, okay, here, this is how it is. But it's more seeing things from a more bigger picture perspective. This is also where, coming from our heart, we can build our self-confidence. When it comes to our speaking, we can become confident in our words, confident in our ideas, confident in our decisions that we are making. It's also great for making our own choices and really taking the lead of our lives, because Leo is the celebration of yourself. Leo says you are the sun center of your universe, and everyone is revolving around you. So you might as well take the lead in your life, even though Leo is not a cardinal sign, and own your life, and live a true and authentic life. So that's Leo and Aries as well. That's really all the fire signs. Making sure that we're living from a place of truth. So yeah, so so there's a conviction quality that comes in, but on the downside, we can become too proud, too arrogant, and we can become sort of vain, and our idea is the best, and we're fighting for our idea where we're not listening and being open and receptive and learning from others. And even trying to gain control through shouting, or all those kind of things like that. So making sure that we're not falling to the shadow sides is something to really keep in your back pocket during this transit. So it starts on the 10th of July. So then on July 14th, we have the Sun in sextile with Uranus. So this is a time to invent yourself into somebody else, to liberate yourself from anything that limits you, and to be the person that you are, to embrace all of your quirks, all of the things that you feel are weird or strange about you. This is a great time for that, because the sextile provides an opportunity where we have earth and water working together, the sun in Cancer, Uranus and Taurus. So we can invent ourselves into somebody else. We can find new ways of expressing ourselves, new ways of self-expression, because that sun deals with, okay, it's very simple, we're expressing ourselves. Brand new ways of expressing yourself, whatever that may be for you. It is also great for meeting people from different cultural backgrounds, learning from others, having an adventure, really doing something that is exciting and new and entertaining and enjoyable for us, where we can march to the beat of our own drum and move on the path of freedom. So this is an opportunity to have fun and to do things that's really, unique, and to liberate ourselves and to allow ourselves to do whatever we, want to do, that is moving us closer towards our true authentic selves. So with all this information in mind, I hope that you have a wonderful week. And so I just want to tell you that this video is coming out while I am on vacation in Chicago, and also, traveling. So that is going on as this video is coming out. So anyway, I thought that I would just throw that in there. Bye, everyone. Have a great week.